What's up, SNA fans? This Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the April Fool's slash Easter Monday edition of the SNA podcast of the wrestling news video, where I'm gonna be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article on April 1st, 2024. And I bet you're wondering what's different about me. I'm gonna give you about 5 seconds to figure out what's the difference between me in the past and me now. Did you guess it? Well, I noticed that. That's because I shaved the most majority out of my hair, and the only thing only braid left is this one right here. I thought I might keep this one so I could look like Superman, and just try something new for this lovely April Fools. I got I got you guys good, didn't I? Hair tie routine. No, I tied it all up and I left it like that since last night when I took a shower. Thought I might have something new to wear, like like not to wear, to tie it, to make something different. But yeah, I never cut all my braids off, like I never will until the end of time, and expect this to be a part of my signature appearance when I am around, especially dressed like this. And yeah, there's plenty more of Super Ninja Austin. And know that, and yeah, this is all just a harmless joke. But yeah, without further ado, let's start off on to the first card. And I promise this is going to be a serious and honest and truthful news story. And I promise I will not do that again. But anyways, we got WWE WrestleMania 40 card reportedly finalized. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the WWE WrestleMania 40 card is reportedly set to stone. As previously confirmed, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match will headline night two. Meanwhile, night one will see both superstars in action, Reigns and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Given that Rollins is in action on night one, his WWE World Heavyweight Championship match will indeed be at night two against Drew McIntyre on Sunday, of course. And furthermore, it's long been known that Bayley will indeed challenge Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship, and Becky Lynch will attempt to thwart Rhea Ripley's dominant reign as Women's World Champion. Meanwhile, Sami Zayn will try to end Gunther's historic intercontinental title run, and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and Logan Paul will compete for his United States Championship. The event will also feature two grudge bouts, as Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso will face each other in singles action, while AJ Styles and LA Knight will duke it out after months of beefing. We got Dominic Mysterio also set to team up with Santos Escobar to take on Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. Elsewhere, Jade Cargill will be in action to join forces with Bianca Belair and Naomi to face off against Damage Control. While it's yet to be made official, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits will indeed face off against Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain. The report claims the bout has been billed internally as a Philadelphia street fight. Finally, there's been speculation that Pretty Deadly will be added to the multi-team ladder match at the for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. As of this writing, confirmed, the teams are the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the New Catch Republic with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, DIY featuring Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Awesome Truth, which obviously is obviously featuring Truth and Miz. And then the New Day and A-Town Down Under, which is Kofi and Xavier Woods of the New Day, and yeah, most specifically Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. And do you think that the Pretty Dead will be added? I think they should in a way, because to make it fair, like if they have 3 contenders on Raw, why not do 3 contenders on SmackDown? Even though they lost to the New Catch Republic in the first round, but you never know. Like, you never say never in WWE, I suppose. Like, they could possibly just add them on there just to get a 7-pack challenge match. 7-pack challenge ladder match, I should say. With the Judgment Day, have 3, not only 3 teams on Raw, but also 3 on SmackDown. And then it could be anybody's game, which most of us know who could possibly be the potential winners and the favorites, and that's already the favorites. I should rephrase that, and that's already the favorites that could possibly win the ladder match to become the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and then they'll continue to tease that we could see some tensions and a potential split up between the Judgment. Not between the Judgment Day members, such as Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. But them possibly could jump out of the group, like with them being very angry at each other and them trying to, with Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough try to play peacemaker, but there's nothing that they can do about, because they have enough. They cannot take each other's shenanigans anymore, and but that's only if that. But that's only if they lose their championships respectively. Like with Damian Priest and Finn Balor loses the double color straps, and then Ripley losing her big gold white strap. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Even though my predictions, I know exactly who's gonna win. And if you don't know, I'm gonna let you guys know I'll say at the go home edition overall, of who's gonna win what matches at WrestleMania 4. At WrestleMania 4 with my prediction, but let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on these matches, who exactly is gonna win in y'all's eyes, or even could realistically happen. Let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on to the next slide. We got some Ricky Starks news that he provides health update following AEW Collision injury scare. The March 30th episode of AEW Collision featured a reported change to Ricky Starks and Big Bill's tag team match. After the former appeared since taken to Instagram, taken to his Instagram story, and revealed that it's nothing to worry about, and he was being precautions, and the moment occurred when Starks didn't kick out of the pinfall attempt, that wasn't supposed to be a 3 count, and no wonder that it seemed unexpected, and it didn't feel like if it was predetermined. Like now we see, but it didn't feel. No wonder it didn't feel like if it was predetermined. Like to see Top Flight get an opportunity to fight what's they FTR, right? Much rather than Big Bill and Ricky Starks fight them, the Young Bucks, or even Best Friends at Dynasty. But it seemed like those plans are going to be nixed and shredded because even though Ricky Starks didn't win, he at the same time he's not going to go to the finals. I'll say, but we could see happen they get to the finals and then Ricky Starks and Big Bill screw them out of the match, give someone like the Young Bucks a chance of retrieving their third reign as AEW Tag Team Champions. That's the best case of scenario that should happen. Just create a feud in the tag division, and considering Tony Khan is a fanatic in tag team wrestling, this is the best opportunity to do it right and taking advantage of an opportunity like this and make it and make it a blessing in disguise, if you know what I mean. But anyways, let's continue. This prompted the referee to stop counting, and the star was subsequently DDT'd, and pinned by Darius Martin to finish the match. Worse yet, Starks and Bill were reportedly scheduled to win the match, and in this loss means that they are now out of the AEW World Tag Team Tournament. The match in question was Starks and Bill's on Sting in February, which was over a month ago. Yeah. But anyways, a little bit over a month ago at least. Now, that Starks is okay. However, it remains to be seen how he and Bill will be booked moving forward. New champs will be crowned at the upcoming AEW Dynasty pay-per-view, and Top Flight and FTR have already cemented their places in the semifinals. And then also, while the injury scare is arguably the most significant talking point of the March 30th edition of Collision, also marked Matt Cardona's return to AEW. He answered Adam Copeland's, but came up short as it stands. He is a reported one-off arrangement, which I was just talking about. That I was like, is this like a one-off deal, or do you think it's like some kind of a part-time gig from the indie god that he made with Tony Khan? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what's your opinion about this matter. But yeah, and Richard Starks and Big Bill was supposed to be the original winners for this tag team match, but it ended up being rewarded to Darius and Dante Martin. Which that's pretty shocking. It sounds similar to when Ray Phoenix took on John Moxley when he was legitimately concussion, and they had to change plans for Ray Phoenix to win the AEW International Championship from him, and then Moxley won it right back about a month later. Or was it? Or was it about a couple of weeks later? All I know is it was at a pay-per-view when Moxley re-won it back. But or was it a couple, or maybe it was a Dynamite a couple weeks afterwards when John Moxley wasn't badly concussioned, but AEW decided to and the referee kind of gave it away to see what he was supposed to do. 1, 2, and then he kind of stopped for a little bit until he had no choice but to count to 3 when Ray Phoenix hit another finisher on to Moxley, which that's similar to similar to this case with Top Flight against Ricky Starks and Big Bill. And then I kind of got shocked, like I said on my podcast collision review video, like I was like, they hardly ever get a win with that move. The double team tornado DDT with Darius Martin spin around by putting his foot right onto Dante Martin's midsection and DDT'd him right into the ground. I was thinking to myself, like, wow, like they hardly ever get a win with this move. Like, I wonder what changed. That seems very legitimately. This looked legitimately like a shoot rather than a work. But let me know what your thoughts on this shocking report in the comments down below. And I guess this is the most interestingly shocking news of the day, I suppose. And hopefully AEW can correct this mistake from this past Saturday. Ricky Starks not supposed to be getting concussion, but that shows even on a wrestling show that has predetermined plans for somebody, you seem like they gotta be put on hold, especially when setbacks like this occur, in this very unfortunate time. But I want to wish Ricky Starks I'll wish Ricky Starks my best wishes on a full and fast and speedy recovery. But let's move on to the next news. We got some Matt Cardona news now as he answers a challenge on AEW Collision, reportedly still a free agent. Wow. It seems like that was just a one-off then, if that's the case. But anyways, after winning the TNT championship on last week's episode of AEW Dynamite, Adam Copeland vowed to bring back the series of the Open Challenge. The Open Challenges, let me rephrase that with a plural, known as the Cope Open Challenge. On this week's episode of AEW Collision, Copeland has true to his when it was answered, like the indie superstar Matt Cardona, who isn't currently under a contract with AEW. Shortly after Cardona's shocking entrance, and according to Fightful Select, reported that the self-proclaimed death match king is still a free agent and has not signed an AEW deal. According to Fightful, the match with Copeland just came together this week, and actually had an impact on another promotion's booking. And Cardona was scheduled to defend his Squared Circle Expo Championship against Ultimo Dragon on Saturday, but instead he ended up dropping the title to his fellow former WWE star Nick Nemeth on Friday before traveling to Canada for a Collision and match with Copeland, who ultimately defeated him after a back and forth playing wrestling tennis as he got, which that's why I gave it the number one best of the night, because they were back and forth like many ways that you could possibly can do in professional wrestling. But at the end, Adam Copeland got the win and he retained. I believe they even shook hands, like good sportsmanship, like good. Cardona wasn't just a random opponent for Copeland. The two have history in wrestling dating back to 2007 when they work for WWE under the names Zack Ryder and Edge. Cardona and his longtime tag team partner Kurt Hawkins, now known on TNA as Brian Myers, were actually repackaged and given their original push as part of Copeland's La, Fa- La Familion, La Familia, La Familia, La Family, La Familia, La Familia stable. La Familia stable where they frequently helped him retain the world tag team. I mean, not world tag. Not the tag. They retained the world heavyweight championship. Cardona and Myers would go on to win the tag team gold twice in WWE, and Cardona would enjoy reigns with the Intercontinental Champion and the United States Championship before in two separate occasions. He later a few years later he was released in 2020. Since then, Cardona has been a force of nature on the independent scene. Extents he's taken credit for. And what are your thoughts on Matt Cardona's AEW appearance from this past Saturday? Was only a one-off, and do you think he will indeed sign a contract? It's possible, or do you think he's gonna wait until that other company to sign him, like whether if it's a Nashville or even a Stamford, Connecticut-based one? Let me know in the comments down below. If this is the case, I still would return there, and he can help a certain nightmarish best friend, possibly could help him finish his particular story. But either way, let me know in the comments down below. Again, let's move on to the next wrestling news. You never know what could happen, until it does happen. So don't doubt anything, anything in life. Just wish and hope for the best. Wish, hope, and pray for the best. Let me rephrase that, and prepare for the worst. But let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some Becky Lynch news now. It looks back at her WrestleMania 35 win in its chaotic aftermath. Throughout her career, Becky Lynch has been a part of some major milestones, including a victory over both Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair at the main event of the grandest stage of them all, the biggest moment of her career. Thus far, Lynch revealed during a recent interview with Sports Illustrated that she was more complicated emotions regarding the 2019 victory. She said, "That's the girlhood dream come true, Mo. I felt everything, but I also felt nothing. It's this weird juxtaposition, like being surrounded by fireworks and the celebration of the crowd. Lynch felt the same inside as she did before the match. Like the WWE star steel of the and Gorilla." Lynch continued, and you saying on the flip side, there was the confidence and and the cockiness I walked around with leading to at WrestleMania 35. Ultimately, it wasn't my destination. It was another important stop on my journey. And it says right here, since 2019, Becky Lynch has continued to run as one of the most dominant members of the WWE roster's women's division, while also taking more than a year off to have a child last year. Lynch teamed with Lita and Trish Stratus to take on Damage Control's Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Later this week, Becky Lynch will return to WrestleMania singles action by challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. But let me know in the comments on what your thoughts on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch's what I'll say, yeah. Well, let me know what your thoughts on Becky Lynch's comments on her in her time as Becky Two Belts back 5 years ago, when she was the first ever woman to hold both the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Champion at the same time. At least in the modern day, of course. Well, I'll say overall, yeah. Either way, like specifically the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship, yes, she's the first ever. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments down below about that, on your opinion onto this matter. But excuse me. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna let you guys to be the judge in the comments down below. And let me know what your thoughts on the insight, like on how she does adrenaline and exhaustion, like in backstage, like whether if it's in their locker room or gorilla, like and so much, yeah. And so she can finish on like being known as Becky Two Belts, like especially with her segment against Lacey Evans, because she was their first opponent in their defense, which is for her Raw Women's Championship. But yeah, let me know in the comments below about everything about what you just said into this into the interview, like about like this was a dream come true as her younger version of herself, like of her being successful, like in like whatever company that she goes to, most likely WWE, and even did so by being the first ever woman to main event WrestleMania and be the first ever woman to win the main event of WrestleMania as well. I want to give a huge congratulations to Becky Lynch, and I wish I could have said it sooner, but at that time I wasn't making SNA podcast. I was barely being known as Super Ninja Austin at that time. But yeah, I just want to give it to her right now. Like, it's better late than never, I suppose. And hopefully we see that happening again, except this time for only one belt called the Women's World Championship. But it's the same belt that she's the inaugural championship in the modern day. So again, specifically, except this time it is the Women's World Championship. But moving on to the next news, we got some AEW star out injured, like with Tony torn pec, like requires surgery. And then we got some news about we got some injury news now about Ortiz. That's what his name is. While his former partner, Mike Santana, has been making waves due to his AEW departure, and rumored sight, like and out of mind, like the AEW of AEW Collision, and where Bryan Danielson and Claudio Castagnoli defeated him and Eddie Kingston in a tag team action. Like, as it turns out, like, however, like Ortiz has a good reason for that, like working for co-worker All Ego Ethan Page's Alpha One wrestling promotion. The previous weekend, Ortiz provided an update on his status, like and he explained by saying that he's injured, like and just from a clothesline, and he tore his pec from a clothesline. It was because he too jacked, and he was so jacked like that he tendons his tendons couldn't keep up, while Ortiz stated that the injury would keep him out of action in the ring for the next little while. Like, he remained positive, joking that his appearance would be a bit different than before when he eventually returns for months, like recovery time, and then he'll be back. And he also said that he'll be more jacked with a mullet, like and with a mullet and a mustache. That's what he said. While while the while the injury prevented Ortiz from wrestling, like for Alpha One, he would still work on the show and as a commentator alongside Isaiah Cassidy, and he later served as the special guest referee. Champion and fellow AEW star Evil Uno retained over her Rohit Rahu, yeah, Rohit, like that I'm naming right now. And what's your thoughts on this pick from taking a very devastating, harsh clothesline during this match at the Alpha One Wrestling event recently? Let me know in the comments down below. And just like Ricky Starks, I want to wish him a full speedy recovery. Even though Ricky Starks' injury is not that bad, like you would expect it to be. It seemed like he'll probably be out of action, and Tony Khan will let him recover for the next couple of weeks, and probably won't see him until like AEW Dynasty, like the latest. That will be like with him making his return, like, which I think they're gonna have him take a couple weeks off, like to build up the story, like of them being the ones that cost what's their names Top Flight the tag team championships from like someone like the Young Bucks. But that's only if they get to the finals, because they still have FTR to worry about next week on AEW Collision. But let me know how you think Tony Khan's going to be booking this matter. Like with Dante and Darius Martin could get screwed out of the team they just beat this past weekend. But I'm not sure if it'll even ever happen, or let alone it's going to be in Tony Khan's plan book. But I hope it is, so he can have something to build up and make future world champions out of it. With this could be a stepping stone for Dante and Darius Martin, and then finally becoming the championships that they're desiring to be. But anyway, back to Ortiz. Hopefully, he won't be out for long. Hopefully it'll be barely a couple of months, and then we could possibly see him this coming summer, and then he could be in plenty of programming. Whether if he's a heel or a baby face, hopefully he could be in some kind of an interesting programming, to entertain us AEW fans, and then and we'll be talking about right here on the SNA podcast. And if you have a podcast, and perhaps I could watch your little show and whatever the name of y'all shows are. I know most of my fellow YouTubers is names of their shows and their channels, so I'll give a shout out or in the what's that the wrestling news review, whether if it's Raw or NXT or SmackDown or Dynamite or Rampage or even a Collision, which mostly they do Raw, SmackDown, Collision, and Dynamite shows. But yeah, let let me know in the comments down below, like on how long give him your prayers and your thoughts and prayers and your well wishes, like at this unfortunate time, like for the former proud and powerful member. But let's move on to the next news. We got some more Becky Lynch news. It seems like the wrestling news just love talking about Becky Lynch and about whoever that's on the card of this year's Showcase of the Immortals. But anyways, it says Becky Lynch comments on 2023 return to WWE NXT, helping younger talent. And Becky Lynch has had one of the most decorated career in WWE history, but in 2023 she got the chance to do something many were surprised she hadn't achieved despite her success in the main roster. It wasn't until 2023 that she won the NXT Women's Championship, as she made a brief stop to WWE's third brand, where she feuded with the then current champion Tiffany Stratton during a recent appearance, like on the Under the Ring podcast. Becky Lynch opened up about what it was like returning to her old stomping grounds. She said, I love it." Like Lynch said, like I if it like it wasn't like a thing where I was like, I need to win the NXT Women's Championship to feel like my career is complete. But the offer was suggested to me, like, would I go down to NXT and work with with these girls? I was like, hell yes. I uh, that when that's when she initially this is when she was initially in NXT. She was scared of getting fired at any moment. Whereas this time around, she could wrestle and perform. Like when Lynch joined WWE's main roster, it had been long since any women had headlined a show. With Lynch enjoyed imparting some of her wisdom and experience to NXT's younger competitors, and she felt like it was important. Like it's cyclic, it's cyclical, like it's a cyclical, a cyclical. Like we learn by working with the people who have been where we want to go, and so I think that's important that we get in there, we get our hands dirty, and we show them the ropes, beat them up a little bit. But what are your thoughts on Becky Lynch, like her time in NXT a year ago, of going back to the developmental and like to work with the new and younger girls, like including Tiffany Stratton and Lyra Valkyrio and others? Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think it was way past due for her to become NXT Women's Champion? Who else do you think is gonna go back to the developmental system, like to win that championship that they had yet to accomplish? Which the only wrestlers and top stars that are former women's champion in the main roster are none other than like Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss. Well, everybody else on the main roster won the NXT Women's Championship and won main roster championship gold. Like it's just that Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss are the only ones that never held the NXT Women's Championship gold. Like, I mean, Bianca Belair was so close to beating Shayna Baszler for the Women's Championship. And she even got another opportunity when Rhea Ripley was the champion. She beat Shayna Baszler for the championship. And that was like right before Belair got called up to the main roster with her husband and his tag partner. But yeah, let me know if any of those two women will be next of winning the third brand's women's championship to complete their triple crown, being known as the Triple Crown champion. And also, what's your thoughts on Becky Lynch was being afraid that she could lose her job like at any moment, like which she didn't have nothing to worry about because she's the top star in the roster in all of WWE. So I guess that's one thing that she should not be worried about is to lose her job. That's the least of her worries. But yeah, you never know because just look at what they did with Dana Brooke and Mustafa Ali. But they were like mid-carders rather than main eventers. But still, like even if you're a main eventer, you never know like when you'll be keeping or losing your job at any moment. Like in this industry, like as they showed, like even in TKO's regime in WWE. But I don't think they were gonna keep because they found her like very useful and very useful and too much of a star to be leaving the company altogether. Like even if you cannot afford her, they'll be trying to find a way to keep her happy and find a way that they can afford her, even though they're worth like billions of dollars. Like they're what they cannot afford. Like I bet they could even hire the whole entire AEW roster into their company. I mean, into this company, like without breaking a sweat. Like, but the reason why like WWE like would not do that is because like they don't know what to do with them creatively. Like, I mean, they could grab a handful, like at least like a half a dozen of wrestlers on their roster to bring to the company, but they probably wouldn't sign because of that reason, because they'll be overloading the system of WWE's creative plans, like on how the book book certain wrestlers in AEW and what shows to put them on, like Raw, SmackDown, or even and then they probably would and then they'll eventually would mess up things in the financial side of things, and they have to let go at least like 3/4 of them, and they'll have to go back to the Jacksonville-based company. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts on about Becky Lynch's run in NXT, which I think she did pretty successful, even though like she didn't really need to go back to NXT to be fully complete on her wrestling career. Like she was already on that level. Like when once she won the women's championship about 6 different times, they say. But yeah, like so she didn't really need to do that. Like, oh, his main storyline stinks. But Becky Lynch corrected her, saying like, whoa, like I'm not a former NXT Women's Champion. Well, at least not yet. And that's when like I'm not sure how many weeks later afterwards, like about at least a week or two, like she confronted her. She challenged her in that spot. And I believe when they did have the championship match on a random episode of NXT, that's when she won the championship, like in a shocking way. And then she held that title for like a good couple of months until dropping it at Night One's Halloween Havoc on October 24th, 2023, I believe, which was like the week before Halloween. Yeah, that's how I remember it. But anyway, which Lyra Valkyria still is to this day until she defends that championship against Roxanne Perez. But something tells me that she's going to successfully retain because it looks like looks like Roxanne Perez is going to be caught up to the main roster very soon. Whether if she goes to the red brand or the blue brand, it seems like she won't be sticking around with the NXT roster. And whether if she's a heel or a face, by the time she gets after Stand and Deliver, we can see her making an appearance, or even a month afterwards, like at the first week of May when they have the WWE draft with all the wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown and NXT, like, well, some of the wrestlers on NXT gets whoever that's going to get called up to the main Raw, either Raw or SmackDown from the NXT roster in the comments down below as well. But moving on to the next news, we got some Eric Bischoff news with him saying this WWE Raw segment was clunky in a good way. With Eric Bischoff of doing stuff, whether if it's overboard or making some announcements that's not even necessary. Except for like the recent debuts, like with the likes of Will Ospreay and Okada and Mercedes Moné, but he can do it a bit overboard, like just because they're the free agent wrestler of all professional wrestling, unless they're recognizable names, whether if they're from TNA, New Japan, or WWE. But anyways, a week after it initially aired the promo like segment on WWE Raw between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in the world of pro wrestling landscape, former WCW president and former WWE executive producer Eric Bischoff chimed in on the final episode of his Strictly Business podcast, which I remember hearing about that, which Tony Khan's so happy and excited that he's no longer going to have that podcast, and it's and I forget what he called it, but he's happy that he's going to stop criticizing him on there because he's no longer going to be making a podcast on this one, only on his 83 weeks. And the reason why he came rid of this podcast because he has some other working commitments, I believe, that's gonna take up his time of doing his Strictly Business podcast. Anyways, back to the of this news report, and cited like that contemporary wrestling promo as making it stand out. I thought it was clunky. Like what Bischoff saying, I thought it was clunky initially. Like rather than he compliments AEW, which he's probably not going to get an invitation back to the company. But anyways, it was apparent to me in the first 45 seconds that this was odd. Like it was different than what we're used to seeing. It made me learn to figure out why I am feeling different about this, because our riffing great things can happen when performers are left with winkle room, like to be themselves, like and exercise some creative liabilities, while it indeed appeared like that McIntyre, Punk, and Rollins segment was unscripted. Bischoff in the option, not all of it was a home run, but their three rivals were able to pull it off in specular fashion overall. And he ended off saying there was some awkwardness in the interaction, which is what led me to believe, okay, this is not typical WWE, but in a good way, I've iced in an IMAX theater. And what are your thoughts on Eric Bischoff's opinion of last Monday's segment between CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins? I believe half of the stuff they said was unscripted, like with especially the part where CM Punk said, like, I don't want to work with a couple of dip, sugar, honey, iced tea. And no, he wasn't saying dipping his churro right into his or churro or donut right into his refreshing iced sweetened iced beverage, I should say. Yeah, like he called him, yeah, dip, sugar, honey, dip, shit, of course. But yeah, but but this word, yeah, and also Drew McIntyre reminding him this is a PG rated show, saying PG brother, which I thought he said PG Punk, like sounding like MJF, like when he called him PG Punk, like when CM Punk was at AEW, when MJF was referencing his time at WWE in his first run back at least from 2011 to 2014, like when he was known as a main event guy, like a main event PG guy, I guess you could say. But yeah, hilariously, Drew McIntyre reminded him this is PG. Like, and also like, and the other funny thing, he said, like, are you a Scottish warrior in a kilt or a troll, internet troll in a skirt? Like, and this is where Drew McIntyre's like, you could get canceled for talking like this these days, which was very hilarious. And those had to be scripted. And then with CM Punk saying, like, who gave you that nickname, the chosen one? Like what paragon of a being like gave you that nickname of calling yourself the chosen one? Which, yeah, that had to be unscripted. Which they said, like, everybody in the back, like executives and other wrestlers in the roster in the locker room, was very frozen and paused, like, on what CM Punk said. But I think everything went back to normal when they left it off, like, and changed the subject and when, especially when Seth Rollins got out in the ring, like, which I guess WWE did not mind him saying, like, making such a reference of the former chairman, as long as he doesn't name drop his name, or else he would have indeed got in trouble with WWE. But I guess CM Punk had fun, and he was a little carried away, but in a good way. He didn't let it get the better of him, like to make him say who exactly gave Drew McIntyre that nickname of the Chosen One. Which indeed, ever since 2009, Vince McMahon gave him that nickname when he introduced everybody to the Scottish Warrior when he was known as just the Chosen One. But let me know in the comments down below, and what do you think was next between the Chicago-made superstar and the best in the world, and the Scottish Warrior and the Visionary and the Revolutionary moment, I should say. Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think we're going to see some more unscripted moments between these three guys, or somebody else entirely, perhaps a certain final boss in a certain American Nightmare, which I believe that could be the opener with the Rock trying to give the belt to his brother, Michelle Rubio. Yeah, I believe that's her name is. And hopefully I have y'all's permission of saying Cody Rhodes' name, but first name with, like, Miss Michelle, like he's gonna probably give the belt to her, and this is where Cody Rhodes come out there and try to days before their match at WrestleMania 40, with him going right at him and hitting some right hands on him, and then giving him a taste of his own medicine from what he did last week, and at the ending, the closing moments of Monday Night Raw. Which some just tells me he's going to do that. It's going to be a similar scenario when Roman Reigns did that to Triple H, like when Triple H beat him in the bloody mess. Some say that he used fake blood. I'm not sure if that's an accurate statement. I mean, it could be, because they pointed out that on some moments they do that just to add some what's that. But I'm not sure if this was fake this time between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, like with Cody Rhodes getting busted open when The Rock was throwing him face first right into the tour bus, like right into his tour bus, like about, I'll say, 10 different times, until after he started whipping him with the belt, like when they went off the air. When The Rock was like, F that, you think I'm gonna stop just because we're the show's over? Like, no, F that, like the show's over my ass. And it started continuing whipping him right with the belt, which I showed you twice before. And let me know in the comments below if that still make you crack up to this day. I know it still does with me. But But yeah, this made the feud between Rhodes and Rollins against The Rock and Reigns at night one more and more interesting, and make me definitely want to watch the show even more. Yeah. But well, let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some Shawn Michaels news now, as he says this NXT star has jumped into their character 110%. Oh, now I know because I heard this from a particular fellow YouTuber last night. As this particular WWE star had, as this WWE star is going to be perhaps the number. Perhaps to be the next NXT, that could be the next NXT champion. But anyways, WWE has a hectic the week like ahead, including NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday before WrestleMania 40 officially kicks off. Appearing on the recent episode of the Busted Open Radio to promote the big event, Shawn Michaels took the opportunity to highlight one NXT star in particular who he feels like has gone above and beyond in recent months, which he named is none other than the number one contender for the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver, Tony D'Angelo. And he had this to say to the Dawn of NXT. Tony is somebody that from the beginning, he jumped in 110% into that character. Michael said he has done a fantastic job. I gotta be honest with you. The thing that worries me about Tony D'Angelo is somebody from Hollywood giving him a call and losing him to play the next the next mob boss for somebody because he does such a fantastic job. Michaels said that he enjoyed seeing people notice and understand just how well D'Angelo has been performing as of late, and how much effort has gone into producing the storyline according to the WWE executive, being able to bring characters like D'Angelo to life is one of the best parts of his role with the company. D'Angelo has a big match heading of him on Saturday as he'll face off against Ilya Dragunov, which he's currently the NXT champion, for the championship, presumably in the main event, the WWE star defeated Carmelo Hayes on the March 5th, 2024 edition of title. Earlier this year, D'Angelo held the WWE NXT Tag Team Championship alongside Renzo, a fellow member of the family. Two lost the championships in February, in a match against Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. As for Dragunov, he's held the NXT championship since September 30th, 2023, and when he defeated Carmelo Hayes at WWE NXT No Mercy. In the months since he has successfully defended the title against Dominic Mysterio and Hayes and Corbin and Trick Williams even in his title reign as of late. And do you think he'll do the Slay the Dragon and become the new NXT champion? And do you think Hollywood will be giving him a call for a mob boss role? Like, because he does a hell of a great job of playing the role as the Don and the leader of a mob, like of the D'Angelo family, alongside his teammate, the underboss, which is known as the underboss, like what's her name, Adriana Rizzo and Luca Lucifino. And he also had another guy that's like Channing Rizzo that was like a right hand man to him, which his name was Two Dimes, but he got released because he failed the wellness policy about too many times, I believe, and he left and he went to AEW. But since then, I haven't seen him since, like when he wrestled a few matches in AEW in that year 2022. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you think that we'll be calling him a Hollywood star, like just like sooner rather than later, like if he was John Cena and The Rock and Batista, like if he does ever get a call, like of being in a movie role, like with him playing, like a boss, or like a leader of a mafia gang or a cartel or anything like that, rather than later. Like if he keep this up and if he gets more popular and more over, I think he can do so. Like you can never say never. Like he could be the next. I wouldn't doubt that he could be possibly the next Italian version of The Rock. When he being successful as a professional wrestler and an actor, which but we'll probably mostly see him in like spy movies, like when him playing the villainous leader of a mafia gang, or you would call him, but like with him like playing the leader of a criminal gang, against like the heroes of the movie, I guess you could say, or I'll say heroes, more likely the main characters be battling against, like in the nonstop action film, like whether they're facing against an undercover cop or some kind of other attempt for justice, like part of their mission part of their mission in the station of solving a mystery against a hard criminal, like such as the which features the leader of a mob boss or leader of a cartel or even mafia or mafia gang, or whoever they possibly be, like that the police are trying to bring to justice, which they probably need their biggest and toughest and not biggest, not like physically, but figuratively, the one of their top greatest detectives to take them down and bring them to justice. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, detective, undercover cop, or whoever authority figure, like of law enforcement, like taking out this criminal, like on the move, like whether it's like a typical action movie or like some kind of mystery movie or whatever it could possibly that has action packed in it. Like we could possibly see Tony D'Angelo play a perfect villain into that role. But my point is, like, which we could possibly see him in front of the big screen sooner rather than later. Like if he ever does get that call. And agree with Shawn Michaels, I agree with him in a way, even though I'm not sure if it could be sooner. But what's next for the Don of NXT in his journey in the entertainment industry, which I think in the side of the entertainment side of things, I think he's going to stay in the meantime, staying on NXT, and he could be continuing being the top star, like one of the top stars, and possibly a future world champion in the main roster. Which he looked like just a villainous mid-carder when he very first got into NXT, but as of late, like even as the tag team, he's been showing that he could be a main eventer, like if he can put his mind into it, which he did so, like when he challenged Carmelo Hayes in an NXT championship match, which he successfully did so. Like, even though he kind of tricked Melo of thinking that Trick Williams was out there to come and get him, but he did so in a very successful way, and that's what's probably gonna help him become the new NXT champion, a movie star, like when he ever gets that opportunity to. But let's move on to the next slide. We got dream match between AEW stars. Not just the AEW. AEW's most specifically Bryan Danielson against CMLL star made official. There were unbelievable scenes like in Arena Mexico, like this past Friday night when CMLL home na na no no Nahe. I guess that's what's called a Nahe. Hum min Nahe, home Nahe, and dos leyendas ended with CMLL's Blue Panther, like Mystico Ultimo Guerrero and Matt Sydal in electric 8-man tag team match, but the the defeat left Danielson unsatisfied, and he immediately challenged Panther for to face him, like a man a Mano Wide Mano, like next Friday. Panther quickly accepted the challenge, leaving it up to CMLL to make it official. In the wee hour of Monday morning, CMLL did just that, confirming that Danielson versus Panther would headline this Friday's Super Vierns, that's the Friday's Super Vierns, like in Arena Mexico. Like, the show will also feature the first block of all of the champions in CMLL face off to determine the promotion's champion of champions. And it says right here, the Panther Danielson been shy about 63-year-old luchador over the years, like though like the match had long seemed like out of reach due to Danielson's previous run in WWE or AEW's working relationship with AAA. Hope for the match like was rekindled like when AEW and CMLL began working together in the fall of 2023. The relationship would build to this past Friday's main event, which saw Danielson fulfilled his dream of competing against Panther. I'll albeit like in multi-man action, albeit in multi-man action and of competing in Arena Mexico, like the famed home base of CMLL since 1956. Wow, it's been a wrestling promotion since then. Like, I thought it was like AAA. Like, it's only been past 30 years since it's been a Mexican wrestling company, but it's been out like years before WWE even ever existed, or WWF, I should say, existed at the time, because it was known as WWF like until the early 2000s, which was WWE. But anyways, which that turned into the Ruthless Aggression era back in '02, I believe. But anyways, while Danielson and Castagnoli, like and Moxley and Sydal were unsuccessful this past Friday, AEW's Willow Nightingale did a contender for Julia Hart's AEW TBS Championship, scored the pinfall in her match, defeating Stephanie Vasquez, to give her Cathy Catalina and Tessa Blanchard the win over Vasquez and Zeuxis and and Leo and Luvia, I should say, yeah, Zeuskis and Luvia. That's what their name. Because I think it's a double L. Yeah, but wait, Tessa Blanchard's on CMLL now. I don't remember her. I don't remember hearing that she's on. That she's now part of CMLL. But it says right here. It says right here that Will Knight. It said that she teamed with La Catalina. Yeah, Love Catalina. Yeah, I think that's what her name is. La Catalina. In a tag team, and John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Willow Nightingale going to AEW. I mean, the AEW stars going to CMLL. Now AEW's is partnering with the other Mexican-based company, in ever since September 2023. And let me know in the comments down below, onto this matter. And do you think that? And do you think that we'll see these AEW? I mean, not AEW, these CMLL wrestlers that Bryan Danielson and Willow Nightingale and wrestle in AEW, like Panther. Wait, we already seen Panther. I meant I'm more likely Stephanie Vasquez. Do you think she's gonna be making the jump to All Elite Wrestling, or do you think she's gonna stick around with CMLL? Let me know in the comments down below. What's the future of the Latina star? But anyways, let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got their plans, and the current WWE NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov, has became one of the most dominant men on the entire WWE roster since his rival in 2019. But only fans of NXT have been able to experience what he is made of. He debuted on the NXT UK brand and only made sporadic appearances in the United States until 2022, when he became a full-time member of the main NXT roster. But with the WWE developmental brand, are there any plans to bring Dragunov to the main roster? According to Fightful Select, while some people within WWE feel like Dragunov is beyond the brand at this point, beyond the brand at this point, there aren't any plans to call him up right now. However, he is expected to switch to the main roster once he loses the NXT championship, whenever that may be. Furthermore, there is a belief that within NXT that WWE officials see Dragunov in the same way they see current Intercontinental Champion Gunther, and he could be pulled in a similar fashion, given that Dragunov frequently travels back to Europe to visit his family. Some people questioned whether he would move to the main roster at all, as that would mean relocating to the United States. To the United States, how, however, WWE officials are reportedly happy to work with Dragunov's schedule to make him happy. His trips back to Europe have had some. There are none in place with NXT officials reportedly happy with Dragunov's work, attitude, and the fact that he needs little direction compared to others. His future is certainly looking bright. And what are your thoughts on Ilya Dragunov possibly moving up to the main roster? Do you think it will be this year, or do you think next year, or do you think it could be any time for the NXT Championship, which could possibly be the case at NXT Stand and Deliver? And do you think that will happen at the biggest NXT pay-per-view? Let me know about that in the comments down below. I think it sure will, and I think he could get called up to Monday Night Raw. I mean, he could. I think WWE could have Gunther retain, and it would when they travel over to Europe, go to Germany. And I think Ilya Dragunov's extended family lives over there. But they're moving from Russia to Germany. When he got older, when he grew up, they moved over to Germany. And then he had the passion for professional wrestling, so that's where he started looking for getting into the business by training and going to a wrestling school, and they go over to the United States and wrestle for independent circuits, plenty of them, where he wrestled plenty of wrestlers, future WWE wrestlers and AEW wrestlers, and now he's and then that's when he got him an opportunity to work with NXT. Started off on NXT UK, and he even wrestled Cesaro in NXT UK when he made the visit over to NXT, with WWE officials wanted him to wrestle Dragunov in some kind of NXT dream match, and then Ilya Dragunov a couple years after that he fought Gunther or Walter at the time for the NXT UK Championship, which he was successful of beating him for that championship, which it seemed like he was going to hold on to that title forever, but it seemed like Dragunov said otherwise, and he finally got the win at NXT TakeOver 36 in the middle of the card for the NXT paper. It was the Sunday after SummerSlam, yeah. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you let me know in the comments right down below if you if you think so, if he's gonna be the one to defeat Gunther like he did with the NXT UK Championship, 3 years after he did so, and that could happen, but at the same time, we could be seeing a new champion at WrestleMania. But then again, that's only if Chad Gable's in the match, however. But if it's only going to be Sami Zayn, I'm going to give it to the Ring General. Unless Chad Gable gets in the match, and then we could possibly see a new champion. He finally finished his story of defeating Gunther and finally winning his first singles championship in WWE history. Overall in his WWE career, I should say. But moving on to the next wrestling news, we got some Mike Rotunda news now, as he comments on his comments on about his late great son and on how WWE used Bray Wyatt creatively. The wrestling world lost one of its most reserved, creative, even more like heartbreaking, was that he had not long made his much awaited return to WWE, sowing seeds for the latest character invasions, like after the Fiend in the Eater of Worlds. Wyatt's father, pending Hall of Famer Mike Rotunda, opened up on his son's impact on wrestling in an interview with Sportskeeda, with Sportskeeda's Wrestle Binge, like noting that his cut leader, like is like a cut. I'm cult with an L, right before the T. That his cult leader gimmick like was his favorite iteration of the Wyatt character. He said, "Myself, yes. Bray Wyatt, I thought I thought they could have got a ton more mileage out of that. Not that I didn't like the Fiend, because he kind of caught that up like in his mind, which was totally different also, but I enjoyed, and those were the days I was in how fans reacted to all the Bray Wyatt stuff. Mike Rotunda worked backstage with WWE until his departure in 2020. So he was present for his son's debut on the main roster as the in the in the in the in the and the enigmatic leader of the Wyatt family faction, and his later repackaging as host of the Firefly Funhouse, as well as the Fiend. Wyatt won his first world title while in the former character, but he would also add two Universal title reigns. The Fiend mask, despite the success of the latter character, Rotunda feel that Bray Wyatt's cult leader character was the coolest thing WWE has for a long time. And do you agree with my first character as the cult character as the leader of the Wyatt family, or was your favorite one of all times was the Fiend version of Bray Wyatt, or do you think that the host of the Firefly Funhouse was number one? Let me know down in the comments below. Which it was at the same time when the Fiend was out. Wyatt, when it was just Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt when he got in front of the camera, which everybody, including my parents, said he's trying to be like Mr. Rogers, which it was kind of true, because he did play the character very similar to him, even wearing a red shirt, just like Mr. Rogers. Like, which y'all, for those who haven't, that's unaware, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, which my parents used to watch him all the time, like when they were younger. Yeah. But yeah, that's what Bray Wyatt was opposing as. Even my fellow YouTube homie Plana even said so too. I was like, wow, like even a guy that's like only 4 years older than me knows about Mr. Rogers, and he could have told that he looked very similar to him. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, like which Bray Wyatt was your favorite out of this out of this character, out of these character changes from the past decade of Bray Wyatt, like which was the Husky Harris version of him, and then it was the Bray Wyatt, the leader of the Wyatt family version of Bray Wyatt, which it lasted until 2016, 2017. And then that's when he became just the Eater of Worlds, and then that's when that was like from 2017 to 2019, I believe, until he became the Firefly Funhouse hosting the Fiend version of Bray Wyatt, which he did a dumb decision from WWE to have him be defeated by. So out of anybody, which was Goldberg, that he had him to be the sacrificial lamb to. Which I'm not sure that was the smart idea on WWE to book him in that way, to lose the even though they had something better for him to do. I guess that was the blessing in disguise, because he had a very tremendous match with John Cena as the Firefly Funhouse, which was one of the most pandemic cinematic, memorable cinematic matches in all of WWE. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what your oh, I forgot about the returning Bray Wyatt, which I'm not sure what this version of Bray Wyatt was called, but final Bray Wyatt. Not trying to be funny, but just his father, Jack Rotunda, and the rest of his family. I don't remember her name right now, and his mom, but I know his brother and his dad's name. Obviously, they're wrestlers as well. His dad, Mike Rotunda, was a wrestler with his uncle, which is Mike Rotunda's brother, Barry Windham. Like when they were known as the U.S. Express in the 80s. But yeah. But I want to wish all of them, and then his friends and co-workers, and most specifically WWE, and also his fans all around the world, which I was very shocked that these fans were very they're very enthusiastic to the Eater of Worlds. Like, yeah, like for him, like I admit he was very impressive in his performance, and he was very entertaining. He was very hilarious to watch. Like in the time of watching as the younger version of me, like in my preteen days, like watching Bray Wyatt, like when he was when he made his main roster main roster debut with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan as the Wyatt family, when they attacked Kane, and then he challenged Kane in an Inferno match, I believe, at SummerSlam, which Bray Wyatt won, and that's when his and that's where I guess that's where it started off at, is the biggest stardom version of himself, way more than he ever was as Husky Harris. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on about what's your favorite Bray Wyatt from the past dozens of years of being a part of WWE. And I would recommend you guys of sending y'all's condolences to Bray Wyatt and his family and friends at this sad time. Or I would say not really much of a sad time, but you get like at that time in August. But moving on to the final news of today's wrestling news video, we got some Jim Ross. We got some Jim Ross news on his health update with the former WWE commentator and WWE Hall of Famer and current AEW commentator Jim Ross has enjoyed a such more relaxed schedule in AEW over the past few years. But a large part of that is due to his persistent his persistent health problems. Ross was taken off of TV in late 2021 due to a cancer diagnosis that required radiotherapy, but he returned to the company and revealed that he was cancer-free in February 2024, which I would say congratulations, and I am very happy for you for beating cancer. But anyways, he underwent a second cancer-related surgery, like this time on his right hip, and and things have gone smoothly for him in the months since. And despite being able to make an appearance on AEW Revolution 2024 to call Sting's retirement match, he hasn't returned to AEW on a full-time base. However, during a recent edition of his Grilling JR podcast, Ross revealed that he was he was he has had his ports taken out of his chest, something that he has been really looking forward to. And he had this to say he had this to say during this podcast. I'm sure glad to get those things out. I got 2 or 3 days to just leave it alone and let it heal. But I said this on Twitter. I think it was yesterday. It's another step on the road to healing. So that's where we are. It's sore. It's sore today, but I ain't got to screw with it no more. Screw with it no more. So also. And Ross also revealed that he has to go back to his surgeon to elevate how his hip has been doing since the surgery in February, and he also has one specific date in mind to return to AEW Dynasty on April 21st. The In St. Louis, Ross said. Ross said this. Ross said this while continuing on his podcast, adding, "I'm sure, I sure hope that I'm sure hope that works out because I would do just about anything to call Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. I think that's going to be if if it's of not of the year, or if it doesn't get 5 stars, I would be surprised." Same here with Jim Ross. Same here. Agreeing with Jim Ross. I don't know what to say. If it doesn't get a 5-star rating from any wrestling critic, whether if it's from Dave Meltzer or Jim Cornette, even though most wrestling promotions don't care what Dave Meltzer or Jim Cornette or any popular internet wrestling journalists and critics would think about the show. But if it delivers, I'll say if it delivers all the way, I'm giving it 5 stars alone by itself. And it could probably get the match of the night on my book. I expect it to be the match of the night because these are coming from the 2 greatest veteran in decades of experience wrestlers that's been doing this job for many more years. Even though Will Ospreay's been doing this for pretty much almost a decade now, while Danielson's been doing it for 2 decades. We could see these guys put on a classical put on a magical clinic. They could perform a magical clinic into this contest this coming I'll say this coming month, I guess you could say. Not this coming month, but I'll say in less than 3 weeks from now, because it was just 3 weeks this past. Yeah, it was 3 weeks from this past weekend, which was yesterday, of course. It was 21 days, which it's still technically 3 weeks. It's just only 20 days. So yeah, it wouldn't make much of a difference. But let me know in the comments down below, and then if you want me to do something special for AEW Dynasty. Just keep on hitting those thumbs up button and convince your family and friends to do the same and watch this video and watch putting in more of my videos. Get it up to at least 5. Get the likes up to 10,000 and then also make sure to click on the subscribe button, get that up to 10,000 at least, the bare minimum, if you want me to do something special for AEW Dynasty and make a review video out of it as well. But yeah, in the mean, but yes, sir, ma'am, this was your latest wrestling news video of today's video. And which one was your favorite out of this list? Let me know in the comments right down below. If I had to choose, I would give it to Man, there's so much to choose from. You know what? I could do something different. How about Becky Lynch and when she explained on her time in NXT when she got the offer from WWE? I say that was my favorite one on the because she did successful and she even made stars into. I made stars and made them look good when they were in matches, whether if she retained the championship or when it was that match against Lyra Valkyria for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Halloween Havoc, which Valkyria beat her idol that was the reason why she got into the wrestling business, and she became the NXT Women's Championship, which she still is to this day. And yeah, again, let me know what your favorite was in the comments down below. But yeah, and if you like this video, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button and subscribe. Click the bell notification icon bell so you can be the first one when I upload my latest videos. Also, make sure to check out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be making a WrestleMania Raw review video because I got so much to do. I promised I do. I probably do a favor for a family member out of town, so it looks like I'm gonna have to cancel today's my wrestling review video, for the WrestleMania edition of Raw on the Go Home show, on April 1st. It's April 1st, obviously, and yeah, and this is gonna be the time I'm gonna be skipping a new episode of Monday Night Raw ever since making this channel of the SNA podcast. So hopefully I make it up to you guys. How about I do the NXT review video? I know that's not the same, but it's it's something to make up to show you that I'm still gonna be doing the rest. Still on the podcast. It's just I'm gonna be too busy helping out some family members out of town, and I won't be able to make tonight's wrestling review video of Monday Night Raw. I'm so sorry. Can you ever forgive me? But anyways. And hopefully you guys will have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you next time with some more SNA April Fools. Hopefully I got you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm not going to miss tonight's review video of Monday Night Raw, which is the biggest Monday Night Raw it's supposed to be, which is perhaps the most biggest and greatest Raw of all time, because this is the go home edition of the Red Brand before the biggest showcase event of the year, which is WrestleMania 40, the 40th year anniversary even. And we're going to see what exactly was going down on Monday Night Raw, which the only thing that's been announced as of late was The Rock and Roman Reigns going to make their appearance on tonight's Raw live in Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. And do you think, like I said, ever since last week, do you think we're going to see Mama Rhodes going to be making an appearance at tonight's Raw, or do you think she's going to wait until she goes to Philadelphia to be front row to see her son beat both The Rock and Roman Reigns at night 1 and Roman Reigns at night 2. But either way, like he's probably gonna like whenever she's gonna be in attendance, where it's gonna be her, he's probably gonna give the bloody belt like to her, try to give her the bloody belt, which we're gonna probably see Cody Rhodes gonna beat the living hell out of the final boss of the WWE, and he's gonna give him a taste of his own medicine, what he did to him 7 nights prior to tonight's Raw. But yeah, tune in for tonight's Monday Night Raw, and then I think we're gonna see an 8-person tag match, like between the Awesome Truth and DIY, or no, it was the New Day and DIY against the all 4 members of the Judgment Day of Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, and JD McDonough. And who's going to win that match? Let me know in the comments right down below, which I believe the Awesome Truth's going to sit with commentary. Let's hope that R-Truth's going to be knowing that he's sitting right next to Pat McAfee and not JBL. He already knows Michael Cole because obviously they knew each other for the past decades. Like ever since his second run in WWE, which was in 2008 till now. Which is still accurate, like his second run, because he's been loyal to the company since then. Like he's been in plenty of roles that WWE asked him to do, and he's glad we would do so out of a drop of a hat. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about Monday Night Raw in the comments, like later on before I make the review video. And yeah, and like and subscribe. Get up to 10,000 likes and 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, I should say. Like if you want me to do something special for AEW Dynasty, like even though I cannot do anything for WrestleMania, I think it's kind of too late for that, but I will be doing a review, like just like I'll say not generic, but I'll say a special video. I'll still be doing some kind of a special video for WrestleMania 40, like night 1 and night 2. But yeah, just keep on tuning in and keep watching. And yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys later on today. And hope for you have a great day and a safe April Fool's and Easter Monday. And I'll see you next time with some more SNA content. Happy Easter Monday and happy April Fools, and Super Ninja Austin out of here. Hopefully I got you good on the first joke and the last joke of me pretending that I shaved my head and now it's shorter and it's only got one braid, and then me saying I'm not doing a raw because I'm gonna be out of town helping a family member out and them a favor. But y'all should have known because it was clearly a lie because I didn't put too much into detail. I mean, even if I really did have to do had to do a favor for a family member, I still would be saying it like this. I'll be like, yeah, and it's gonna interfere for me doing the review video. So I thought I might cancel for at least one night, and I'll make it up for you the next day, while I'm doing the NXT review video. But that didn't seem like the case at all. It's very obvious I'm not gonna cancel of doing the Raw review video, but you never know, when I could skip a Monday or even a Friday or Saturday or any other day out of the week, when I'm gonna skip a review video or even a wrestling news video, which it could be any day for a wrestling news, but I have something important to do, more important to do than these review videos. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. But stay safe and yeah, and keep on YouTubing and keep watching Super Ninja Austin at Super Ninja Austin 213, and you're going to be continue to be provided with some more SNA content. Bye my guys. Happy April Fools, and again, happy Easter Monday as well. And yeah, and have a nice and safe and wonderful Easter. And and April Fools. And make sure not to fall for anybody's tricks or fall for somebody's tricks or April Fool's pranks on this joking and trusting holiday. Bye bye.